Hey, it's Brian Butt. This is my cheat sheet for Monday, October 22nd. Also, the final day of a debate this year, which means that tomorrow morning will be the last time I'm sleep deprived until the morning after the election. All right, so the impact of the third presidential debate on the outcome of an election. Well, historically, nothing. It's not to say that tonight's not important. It very well could be. And, there's always a first for everything, right? Well, here's the situation. We never have seen, since polling was widely adopted after presidential debates, in 1960 is when we started that, we've never seen the race change as a result of the final debate. In other words, whoever was leading going in has always been leading coming out. And so it's a very close race, at least if you factor in all of the polls. There was one that had President Obama up 6 points yesterday. That has narrowed it and made Mitt Romney's lead look pretty narrow. But in any event, Mitt Romney has been leading for basically 2 straight weeks now. And so really, on a historical basis, something truly significant would have to happen in the debate one way or the other to get a major move out of the third and final debate. You might recall, going into this debate cycle, mentioned that the first presidential debate historically is far and away the most important, and that 75% of undecided voters that make up their mind after that first debate. Most of the rest of them that make up their minds as a result of the debates. I'm not saying there won't be any undecided voters after today, but of those that make up their minds based upon the debate, almost all of those people have already made up their mind by the time we get to the third debate. And you factor in that tonight's debate is about foreign policy, which, while certainly important, is far less important than the economy in this election, and you can see why it's unlikely that there will be a dramatic move as a result of what happens tonight. Again, unless there's something just completely off the wall. All right, real estate. Truth to the numbers. Oh, there's so much bad reporting out there. I going through this report on Friday and going, wow, this is pretty phenomenal. And then you hear the media, real existing home sales down and whatever, makes it sound like real estate's down. Well, what they're doing is looking at month over month, sequential. Never a good idea. You never compare to see the direction that real estate's going, month to month. You look year over year. And that's true in most businesses, especially those that have some seasonality like real estate to them. And when you look year over year, well, look what you find. Around the country, more evidence of a housing recovery. In fact, the average home price was up just over 11%. Let me repeat. The average home price in the United States of America was up just over 11% year over year as a result of the numbers we got in September. Add into that inventory levels in housing down 20%. You can see why home builders are building more homes. We're demanding them. Remember that anything less than 6 months worth of inventory is actually a net seller's market. And in many parts of the country, including ours here in Florida, absolutely, it is a seller's market. And housing continues to be the single brightest spot in the economy. Speaking of which, most things that have to do with anything in Europe, not doing so well. We're actually, as we take a look, and you see some big names that are disappointing so far. You got names like Google and McDonald's and Microsoft that are just not doing well against their estimates this earnings season. Well, there's a big reason for that. There's zero growth. Zero growth. Literally. If you take a look at the earnings season thus far, we're actually pacing like 0.04% of growth. In other words, we're borderline recession in earnings in corporate America so far this earnings season. It's easily the worst since we were in recession in 2009 in terms of earnings season, and it really shows the greater global problem. Because while there are some isolated stories, most of the isolated stories that are good are those that are doing something right and doing it pretty much domestically. When you take a look at the American multinational companies, those that are reliant especially on Europe, it's a disaster out there right now. It's just not good. You're not seeing their earnings grow at all, and in some cases you're actually seeing them recede. And that paints a much bigger view of what's going on in the world economy, which is it's simply not good. It's easy to get lulled to sleep by the election and put so much focus on it that we lose sight of what's going on in the economy. But the bottom line is, whether it's the iPhone 5 or whatever, we just feel like shopping. We better hold our butts and hope that we're going to have that great retail sales holiday shopping season that the analysts have been predicting, because the underpinning economy right now and around the world stinks on wheels. That's the cheat sheet for today. Enjoy yours. We'll see you tomorrow.